prakriti lakkhana, impermanence, anicca, suffering, dukkha, and non-self, anatta. The Buddha says, Bhikkhus, whether Tathagatas arise or not, there persists, continues that law, that stableness, permanent character of the Dhamma, that fixed course, path of the Dhamma. All conditioned phenomena, sankhara, are impermanent, anicca. Bhikkhus, whether Tathagatas arise or not, there persists that law, that stableness of the Dhamma, that fixed course of the Dhamma. All conditioned phenomena, sankhara, are suffering, dukkha. Bhikkhus, whether Tathagatas arise or not, there persists that law, that stableness of the Dhamma, that fixed course of the Dhamma. All phenomena, Dhamma, are non-self, anatta. All formed and conditioned things, sankhara, that appear to us are impermanent. All formed and conditioned things that appear to us are suffering. All things that appear to us, including the unconditioned state of enlightenment, are no self. A. Permanence, impermanence. The characteristic of existence is impermanence, anicca. All conditioned things are impermanent, anicca. All conditioned things, conditioned phenomena, are continuously arise and soon pass away. In one sense, this means the world of experience, understood in terms of the five aggregates, is in a state of continuous change. Everything is changing all the time. A mixture of the instances of the aggregates is being formed again and again and again as time goes by. Sense objects and mental objects continuously arise and then disappear. They are joined by various feelings, perceptions, mental formations, and states of consciousness, all of which continuously arise and then disappear. Furthermore, each of the five aggregates depends on the others for its existence. In other words, each is a conditioned thing. For example, consciousness cannot exist without the other mental activities, nor can it exist without the sense organs and the sense objects, for instance, the eye and the visual object. All these aggregate formations as conditioned things, all these sankhara, are impermanent, anicca. There is another sense in which all conditioned things continuously arise and pass away. All things formed in the world, all formations in the world appear as conditioned things. All conditioned things, all sankhara in the world, depend upon other things in the world for their existence. An apple tree, for example, grows from a seed and with water and sunshine produces fruit that human beings can use for food. The apple seed causes the apple tree. The water and sunshine are conditions that make it possible for the tree to grow. The apples then are a condition for human beings being able to live. The apples are conditioned by water and sunshine and are conditioning the welfare of human beings. Human beings are born because of their fathers and mothers, grow up, have children of their own, and get old. The parents are a condition for the well-being of their children. All human beings sooner or later die from such causes as sickness or old age. All these conditioned formations in the world come to be and pass away every day, every year, and every age. All these formations are anicca, impermanent, be suffering. The second characteristic of existence is suffering, dukkha. All conditioned things, phenomena, are suffering. To say the world is impermanent is to say it is in itself dukkha. Furthermore, clinging to the world will always bring us suffering. Suffering for us is unsatisfactoriness in the broad sense. We are not really satisfied with what happens to us. See the first noble truth above. Suffering comes from all those experiences that we are troubled for a human being. For example, aging, illness, death, experiencing what is not pleasurable, experiencing the end of something pleasurable, and failing to get what is desired. Suffering is being upset about things in every sense of the word upset. Suffering arises because human beings try to put a self into a world that is impermanent. If we attempt to put a self into the world of change, dissatisfaction of some kind will always be the result, because the world does not stand still long enough for us to really be anything or have anything. The world is always outside of our control. If a man understands himself in terms of his job and then loses his job, who is he? As far as his job is concerned, nobody. If a woman is concerned only about her beautiful house and it burns to the ground, what does she have? As far as her house is concerned, nothing. Feelings, knowledge, habits, beliefs, and jobs change over time because impermanence is a characteristic of existence, and to try to make this fact otherwise brings suffering. See no self. The third characteristic of existence, according to Theravada Buddhism, is no self, lack of self, anatta. All things, phenomena, conditioned or non-conditioned, are no self. If you look closely at the world, understood in the terms of the five aggregates, we do not find an self anywhere. There are separate sense objects, for example red or noisy, separate feelings, pleasure, displeasure, sadness, delight, and the like. Separate perceptions, for example perceptions of red or noisy, and separate mental formations, for example opinions about red things or noisy things. There is, however, no unchanging self, ego, person, individual, or soul. There are only separate instances of the five aggregates. For the Theravada Buddhism, the experiences of the world do not add up to any kind of self. No self makes an appearance anywhere in the world of experience. What we call a person is always changing, is never the same as he or she was yesterday, last week, last year, 5 years ago, or 20 years ago. All things are no self. All formed and conditioned things are no self. The unformed and unconditioned state of enlightenment is also no self.